Again, I'm here with my friend Andreas. He plays the guitar in Østerlide. No, I didn't say it correctly. Can you say the name of the band, please?
You just have to think of the first letter.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest is just as it's spelled.
Østerlide. Yeah. What does it mean? What does it mean?
It means somewhere in the east.
Somewhere in the east.
Yeah, it's a direction, east.
Okay. Why? Why do you?
We played a tune called Nu stiger solen opp I Østerlide. It's an old psalm, which is about the sunrise and from which direction the sun rises.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was such a poetic way to poetic name, so we adapted that, used it as a band name.
Okay, beautiful. Tell me about. I was listening to your amazing songs, and it's so they are your songs are old songs that you just collect and you give it another arrangement and another. Can you tell me a bit more of the process? How do you do it?
Well, I'm happy to work with Liv Ulvik, the singer, which she knows this tradition, and I was involved in it because I wanted to know something more about my own roots and with my own tradition. Because when you play in a band, you copy like English and American rock bands and stuff. When you play guitars and drums in a band as a youth. And that's pretty similar to all over Europe, I think. I was asked about my own tradition. I couldn't answer very good. So I started working with Liv, and she knows all these amazing songs. Well, she picks out some tunes that she knows and take them to a rehearsal, and then we just try different solutions and try to figure out what kind of tune is this and what does the lyrics mean. Is it very dramatic? Maybe we should play something dramatic, or is it very, very soft and nice? And try to figure out what is this kind of tune, and then we have no rules. And me and the drummer we come from jazz, and jazz in Norway is pretty small, so everyone has to play with everyone, and you get this more like open-minded way to play different kind of styles. So because we're so few people, and then the whole well, that means that we do also cross genres a lot, because there's not always a lot of people with the same background as yourself in your neighborhood.
So all the songs are in Norwegian, because you said, oh, okay, so this what is this song talking about? I thought that there could be some dialects in there, because I'm not able to...
And it's another old language. Which I don't understand by myself without reading it over and over and over and look up something.
Oh, okay. So you do work on really old songs, like
some of them are probably 1,000 years old.
Okay. A bit of that happened to me in this process of letting myself being a musician. I don't know. There was a time that I said to myself, "What about my roots? What about what I come from? Well, I study at the conservatory, but I also at the jazz school, but I had rock bands and so on. But I didn't really know what were my roots, but I knew that with some rhythms and with some soundscapes of instruments, traditional instruments, that would have an impact on me. And so I made a bit of that of that path. So I think I can understand a bit of that. Even though that the situation in Portugal, I think it's a bit different than in Norway. We had here a dictatorship, and then like the old tradition things would be seen like kind of a old thing that we didn't really care about, and we didn't want to belong to that when I was younger. But the newer generations they don't have that. So they know much more about roots and much more about this new instrument, this traditional instrument, and so on. So I think the situation maybe it's a bit different, but with kind of the same consequences. So my next question would be, how do you get to those songs?
It's a mix of books and of oral tradition and well, different different kinds of sources. And sometimes I'm not quite sure either where she has it from, where she has collected. But I know she studied folk music at the conservatory. She some part of it was that she traveled around and learned orally some material, and I know we do some of that in our band.
I noticed use that other objects as instruments. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, Ulrik, the drummer, has worked a lot with kind of improvised music and the avant-garde scene. And I worked a lot with using different objects as percussion instruments. So he plays Gran Casa bass drum with 3 legs, where he uses it also as a table for small percussion instruments. And then when he has widened his language in that way, he also have challenged me to look at things in another way. And then
you also play in this. You have one album, right?
Yeah, we recorded a second one, which is going to be released in March.
Okay. So it's done. It's recorded, and it's
we're working on the editing right now.
Yeah. So, and this so what I know, it's from the one album that you have until now. And what how do you approach, you play the guitar, but you also try to find other soundscapes? Is it is this correct?
It's a band without a bass, so both me and Ulrik needs to work with how to fill that room. And it's sometimes it's nice to have just the bottom of the bass drum, and in other tunes it's nice to have more like a melodic bottom. So then I use some octavers and split the signal from my acoustic guitar to send it to an octave and then to bass amplifier, and try to fill that room in different ways.
Do you? How is the reception of people? You said that you are now on tour, just promoting your album, and you said that you are playing in like small villages and so on in Norway. When you play those songs, do people recognize it, or for them they are just new songs?
Mostly it's unfamiliar, and mostly it's the reaction is often that wow, I didn't know. I didn't know. Because they are not they're not familiar with outside this more like small community of folk musicians. So
what do you think happened in Norway? Like, for instance, we know what happened in Portugal. Why was this link broken and then tied again? And then what do you think happened in Norway? Why you think there is no connection, no direct connection to the roots of music, to that matrix of the Norwegian roots? Do you think something happened in between? Is it the influence of the like other like American music, or like all Western music scene, or was it something else? What happened?
probably several things. From some generations ago, if we just go back like 150 years, people moved from the farms to towns a lot, and then I know from my own family that then the people who moved to a town and had an education to become something, become a teacher or something like that, would be their project would be to adapt the urban life, and to make some distance to their background as farmers. So, for instance, my great grandfather moved from a farm and played the violin, and then he came to town, and then he started playing in a classical orchestra, and they did Mozart and stuff, and that was the music they played at home, because that was the way to gain status.
So it's a matter of status. That's quite an interesting question. Is it like nowadays? I think we're having like some rebirth of popular cultures, and we are talking about high culture and this speech about the high culture that it's in a high level or in a down, doesn't actually need to be like that anymore, or this kind of speech sounds like an old speech. So do you think that maybe it's even the other way around? I don't know, maybe just popular culture is turning to somehow turning.
Absolutely. Now there's probably more like a high status thing to know about this the local tradition.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think things changed, and there was this twist. Would you fit in this label, this concept of world music, or more like in folk music? Because folk has different
Yeah,
interpretations in
absolutely.
different countries and different areas. When you fill your online forums to, oh, my band is what kind of genre is it? Do you feel more folk or more world music, or this doesn't apply? What do you think about it?
It's always a hard question how to tag the music, because as a musician you don't want to tag anything. You
Of
just
course.
want to
Not
just want to
for us.
make music. So well, it depends on the audience, I think. In Norway we call it folk music, but needs to establish that it is in a different shape, and different clothes, and what the traditionally are played. But and in Norway, if you say world music, most people think that, oh, there's an African musician in the band, or there's someone from Caucasus, or
Some kind of
so if
fusion.
just a local tradition, it's not that easy to call it world music in Norway, but everywhere else we probably can do that.
I have your album here.
Uh-huh.
What
Oh, nice.
song? Yeah, yes, and it has this great cover. It's this
Oil painting.
painting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who painted?
It's an visual artist in my neighborhood who's called Elin Eriksen, who I asked her, can you do a cover painting for this folk music album? And she said, yeah, sure. And she went to her studio to do some sketches, and she ended up with to take some the traditional painting, which is much ornamented, like flower kind of style, in the different old objects, like furniture and in clothing and stuff. She did that and tried to abstract it a little, and that's a cover.
Yeah. And it's
So it's a kind of the same what we have done with the music, to take something old and try to look at it in with a view from where we are today.
And what do you want for the future with the Østerlide?
Oh,
You want, it's always this question, but we all want something for the future. That's the, and that's why we do music. That's why we. I mean, I could ask you, why are you making music? But maybe, yeah, I will ask you that. Why are you making music, and what do you want to for the future with this project and with this? Why do you think it is important to sing in Norwegian, to rescue Norwegian roots and bring it to nowadays with the contemporary vision? So yeah, this would be my almost last question.
Oh, hard one to answer. Tricky one.
Yeah.
The ho. I think it's nice to do. Well, after what I've heard, people tell the story that this music relates to them, without knowing the lyrics or understanding the words. And if that connection is there, we really have to keep on working with that, because there's no such thing for connection as music. So if we can establish that, we're really gained something. So we just have to keep on working towards that goal, I think.
Yeah, so connection would be the word and the concept.
Yeah.
I'm really happy that you answered that. I think the world needs connection and needs collaboration and so on. So I think that's one of the main reasons that I do music. I think for me, it makes me a better person, and I think for the world, I think music can help on this. How can we connect to each other? So I think music, it's one of the things. It's not the only one, but it can help. So it's really nice that you said that. Thank you so much, Andreas.
Thank you. Looking forward to talk to you again.
Really nice to talk to you.
That's what I really like with this sort of interviews, which my own they suck as interviews, but it's always nice to talk to people.
No, it's really nice because we'll learn a lot of things and also about ourselves. So
yeah.
So thank you, Andreas. All the best for Østerlide. 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 Cool. Okay, again. So thank you, Andreas. All the best for Østerlide.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sine